Hello, and welcome to the Todd Show of Webb. I'm Webb, and this is my Todd. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, it's important to take your comedy breaks at work, your 5 to 6 minutes that you spend with me or whoever else, and have a laugh. Because when you have a laugh, it puts you in a good mood. Your productivity increases, and corporate is happy. And that's what it's about. Making corporate happy. Now, a lot of people come up to me on the street and they say, hey man, hey man, hey man. And I go, get away from me. I told you, I don't want to go back to your beach house. I think you're weird and creepy. I'm not into that idea, dude. And they go, what are you talking about? And I go, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were this guy who told me he had a beach house. And they go, no. We were just curious, hey, what's your favorite show on the television? And I say, oh, my favorite show on the television. Well, that it depends. It's different from time to time. Right now, I would say my favorite show is Justified, that program where Timothy Olyphant shoots people. But I have this friend of mine, he's a really good friend of mine, and I said, hey, have you seen Justified? That's a cool show. It's right. It's a cool show. And he goes, no, I don't think it's a cool show. And I said, why don't you think it's a cool show? And he said, well, because all the bad guys on the show are Aryan drug dealers, and that's stupid. There are no Aryan drug dealers anymore. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any... yes, there are Aryan... The most powerful gang in the American prison system right now are the Aryans. And I'm pretty sure they deal drugs in the prisons. And then oftentimes when they get out of prison, they deal drugs out of the prison. And I'm sure a lot of them wind up in prison because they were dealing drugs. That's a silly reason not to justify... in fact... not too long ago, I was at this joint birthday party, and I knew one of the people, not the other person, so half the people there I didn't know. It was in a beer hall, in Santa Monica. So I was having some beers with some friends, and we were talking about a newspaper article about this very thing, about the Aryans in the prison system. And then, my friends are jokers, so we started making fun of Aryans. And then this guy sitting next to us goes, hey, man, hey! My brother's in an Aryan gang in prison right now. And at first, my first reaction was, oh, this guy's a joker. But then I realized he was being deadly serious. And I said, I'm sorry? Did we offend you? Because he said it as if we had been talking about, people with Down syndrome and making fun of people with Down syndrome. And his brother had Down syndrome. But his brother is a neo-Nazi in prison, and he was offended because we were making fun of neo-Nazis. I was genuinely confused. But my point is that Aryan drug dealers exist, and that's a dumb reason not to Justified is awesome. I mean, if you don't like it because you don't like Timothy Olyphant, well, okay. But Justified is awesome. That's my man. Oh, completely off the subject. But for the last 10 years of my marriage, and before the marriage, I've been trying to talk my wife into having a three-way, and I finally did it. She said, okay, we can have a three-way with a chick. Here are the only caveats. It can't be with a friend because she doesn't want to ruin any friendships, right? And it can't be with anyone we work with because pooping where you're eating things, bad thing. And I can go. And then it can't be with any strangers. Like swingers or hookers or just strangers, because that's just risky behavior. But as long as I can find a woman that meets those three caveats, then awesome. So all you married guys out there want a three-way, I figured it out. Oh, and then the other caveat is that I have to be willing to have a three-way with a dude, without any of the other caveats.